The last couple days you've talked about what makes an inequality true. We're going to extend that today in Unit 2, Lesson 9, Solving Linear Inequalities. Remembering about true statements and true inequalities and false inequalities. So the first thing now that we know ways that the truth value of an inequality can remain the same or change, we can solve linear equalities. So I'm on page 18 in your packet, exercise number 4, and that's where we're going to begin today. We're going to begin by solving this inequality. And the same thing as if there was an equal sign there and this was an equation, we do the same steps. So we're going to start by adding 3 to both sides. 4x is greater than or equal to 8. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. X is going to be greater than or equal to 2. A couple things that I want to point out. We are dividing by a positive number, so my inequality sign stays the same. I also want you to notice that this is greater than or equal to. This bar underneath means equal to. So whenever, and I'm going to put this in a lime green so that you know it's really important, greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, they always will have a closed dot. The reason why they have a closed dot is that because the number 2 is included. So let's write that down in your notes as well. It's included. So when we look at B here, it says write 5 numbers that make the final solution true. It says that x could be greater than or equal to 2. So my numbers are going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, and they continue on. So if I go and find 2 on my number line, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to put a closed dot on 2. I already told you that because it's included, equal to, that's what that represents, and I'm going to shade to the right. The biggest thing that I can get out of you today is that equal to, greater than or equal to, gets a solid dot, and it means included. All right, let's start in on exercise number 5, and it says A, rewrite the left-hand expression as an equivalent expression using addition. So what it wants to do is move that negative 2x out front. So let's start off by rewriting it then. Negative 2x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 16. So I want a minus 8 on both sides. And this is B now. It says solve the inequality by applying the properties of inequality. So we're going to minus 8, and I'm just going to do it here in case we need to carry over into B. Negative 2x is greater than 16 minus 8, which is 8. Now we're going to divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. X is going to be less than negative 4 is my correct answer. And let's talk about this now. We want to pay attention that we needed to divide by a negative number. Okay? When we multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to make sure that we flip my inequality sign. We flip my inequality sign. In order to make this a true statement, and we're going to talk about that in C, we have to make sure that this inequality symbol is flipped. The other thing I want to talk to you about is that you notice that this is just a plain old inequality, less than symbol, no equal to. So when we talk about that, that means not included. And we're going to have an open dot. So it means not included. So when it says C, pick a number that is true based on your solution to B and show that it makes the original inequality true, we have to pick a number that is less than negative 4. So let's go ahead and pick a number that is less than negative 4. I'm going to pick x equals negative 6. I'm going to do this in red real quick. So I'm going to have 8 minus 2 times negative 6 is greater than 16. 8 plus 12, because negative 2 times negative 6 gives me a positive 12, is greater than 16. 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 is greater than 16. So therefore, that is a true statement. Now, if I were to go ahead and graph x is less than negative 4, I'm going to put a dot on negative 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to be an open dot on negative 4, and I'm going to shade to the left. That's how I represent x is less than negative 4. I'm going to do exercise number 6 with you, just as an extra practice on how to solve a giant inequality. This is not a difficult process, as long as you remember all the simple steps and keeping all of your signs straight. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute this 8 into the first set of parentheses. So 8 times x is going to give me 8x. 8 times negative 2 is going to give me a negative 16. Negative 3 times 2x is going to give me a negative 6x. Negative 3 times 1 is going to give me a negative 3. Inequality symbol. There's nothing to do in the beginning part, so I'm just going to write it down. 7x plus 4. Now I'm going to take that negative 3 and distribute it in. Negative 3x. Negative 3 times 1 is going to give me negative 3. What I always try to do is, if this is too big for me to understand and I get overwhelmed, go ahead and cover this right section up both times. Cover it up and work it away left to right, nice and slow, and take your time. Now I'm going to look at the left-hand side. Is there anything I can clean up? Well, I see 8x and negative 6x. And the nice thing is I have different colors that I can use at will. And then I have negative 16 and negative 3. If you have colored pencils, I suggest you using them. 8x minus 6x is going to give me 2x. Negative 16 minus 3 is going to give me negative 19. Less than or equal to, I have 7x and I have negative 3x. 7x minus 3x is going to give me 4x. And then I have positive 4 and negative 3. So it's going to give me plus 1. Now that I have a simple inequality on both sides, I go ahead and I continue my math. One of the things that I like is always making sure that my variable is out front. So it may involve dealing with negatives, but that's okay. So I'm going to minus 4x. I know Mr. O, and I'm not sure about Ms. Bell, but I know that Mr. O likes to keep all positive your positive variables. In this case, I'm going to teach you, and why I'm going to show you in a minute, why it's important to keep those x's on the left-hand side. So that's going to cancel out. I'm going to have negative 2x minus 19 is less than or equal to 1. So add 19 on both sides. Negative 2x is less than or equal to 20. And now I'm going to divide by negative 2. I want you to remember my rule. When I'm dividing by a negative, my inequality has to flip. So my answer is going to be x is greater than or equal to negative 10. That is the answer to my inequality. I want you to really remember that major rule of flipping your inequality when you divide by a negative. Now it asks you to go ahead and create an inequality number line on your own. So what's the easiest way to do that is draw your straight line, your number line, throw negative 10 right in the middle, and it's going to be a closed dot on negative 10 because it says equal to, and we're going to shade to the right. If you have any questions, make sure you send us a post on Edmodo. Have a great evening and write up your WSQs for all those little important tricks that I taught you tonight.